This is an Off the Tongue podcast.
Hey, Doug here.
Greg.
And this is Mike.
And we are the It's Funny That Makes It Okay podcast and part of the Off the Tongue podcast network, where you can also find the Greener Grass podcast, Teach a Dummy podcast, Skate Ohio podcast, and the original Copycast podcast, all found anywhere you find your podcasts. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the show. Here we are, the start of November, kicking off the holiday season.
Hard to believe.
Got Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up. You're probably already hearing some Christmas music. Some stations kick them off November 1st.
I might even play some.
I might too. I'm not opposed. Once you're in November, it's fair.
Yeah, I prefer closer to Thanksgiving, but
Yeah, start getting a smattering
edge
of
into it a little bit.
Christmas music.
Yeah.
All right. Well, real quick, we have joined the Off the Tongue podcast network. It's a network of some other podcasts that are available out there. So look us up on the Off the Tongue podcast network, and you'll also find the Greener Grass podcast, Teach a Dummy podcast, Skate Ohio podcast and Nonprofit, and the original Copycats podcast, as well as us. And give us all a listen. And for those of you who are just tuning in the first time, I'm Doug.
I'm Greg.
And this is Mike.
And I am a Gen Xer.
I'm a boomer.
And I'm the millennial.
There we are. And we just talk about whatever. Anything that usually whatever's in the news or movies, music.
Things that pop into our mind.
Facebook. We try to keep things PG-13 for the most part. But we make fun of everything.
I have to leave when we talk about stuff
Greg
like that.
plugs his ears and Mike and I get a little too raucous. And but we keep things above board. If there is going to be some adult content, we try to give you a warning. So if you got kids around, why are you letting your kids listen to this podcast? I don't know. But we do try to give you a little bit of a heads up that it's coming down the pike, so to speak. So that's who we are, and now you can find us on the Off the Tongue Podcast Network as well. Check out all of our social media feeds. We have some taste tests come up. We have some Thanksgiving taste tests coming up. You can find us on YouTube and Rumble and different social medias where you can get that content as well. So, all right, that's all.
Sounds good.
Let's fire it up. Let's go. We got anything off the top? We've moved so many things around now.
Mm-hmm. Well, today when we were at lunch, Doug and I were at lunch. We worked together, and he's driving, so I'm scrolling through my phone. I'm on Facebook, and I like
as Greg is wont to do.
Yes, and I like to look at the Facebook Marketplace. I like to find items. Sometimes I'll flip some items, things like that. And as I was,
what do you find when you flip them over? You find anything?
All kinds of things. Oh, okay. Usually not money, though.
Oh, well, no.
So today I was flipping through, and an unusual item came up. I'm not sure what it is. The name of it caught my eye, and it's the guy's asking $200 for it.
Well, first you showed me a picture of it,
yeah,
and you said, "What is this?" And I said, "It looks kind of like a small portable welder, or maybe a little heater or something."
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little black box, probably 2 foot tall, foot wide. Had some pipes and cables coming off of it.
Yeah, I thought like maybe a furnace, a little furnace.
I said, is it a portable welder? I don't know what it is. And
well, it's called a nug smasher.
A what?
A nug smasher. So
and it's even got that in.
I'm going to need you to use that in a sentence, please.
It's even got that in a nice label on the device. So I'm not sure what a nug smasher is.
If you act up in this podcast, you're going to get the nug smasher out.
So I went to the website thinking, well, that'll help me out.
I'm sure there were no interesting results when you Googled that.
I said, don't show me any pictures or videos. I don't want to see nug smashing going on, please.
And I still don't know what a nug smasher is, so we're going to have to dig into it a little bit.
Well,
now I did find that
we have to pony up $200. It sounds like
that seems to be cheap for us for a nug smasher.
Oh. Yes, I mean they have it. Well, I'll let Greg go ahead.
Well, so this one might have
some miles
after we talked, it wasn't long after that it was sold. Oh. So it must have been a real
Somebody
bargain.
needed their nug smashed right away.
So when I go to the website, the first thing it takes me to is the products listing. And you have different assortments. You have the Nug Smasher Mini. That's $420.
Now we'll put XL on the outside because we want to make sure that your ego is. Nobody wants to go around with the mini nugs.
So we have the Nug Smasher XP, which I don't know if that's Windows XP. I'm not sure. Maybe it's old school. But that's $11.95. So we're bumping up.
Yeah.
Then we have the Nug Smasher Touch. I don't know what that one does.
A little special touch for your nugs.
Yes, and it's $23.90. And then we have the Nug Smasher IQ. So we get a smart one. And it's $4,596. So these babies are creeping up in price.
You're starting to have to spend a lot of money to get your nug smashed.
Then we have the Nug Smasher Pro Touch.
The Pro Touch. The other's just some amateur touching going on.
This is the Pro Touch.
This is the Pro Touch.
So if you need nug smashing with a professional touch, $79.95. We're almost at $8,000.
Holy cow. That is ridiculous.
And then we have some side products to this. There's something called the Knockout, which is $18,990. It looks like
get your nugs knocked out.
An erector set or something like that.
Yeah. I didn't know what you were going to say.
Well, the erector
set for the nugs. Exactly.
We have extraction bags. We have, let's see what else we got here. Mike, did you figure out what a Nug Smasher is yet?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
You get to tell us. We have hash bags. Does that make any sense?
No.
There are hash bags at $29.96. The basic X bundle. There was something else I saw that was kind of funny. Let's see if I can find it here. We got the Nug Smasher magnet case of 50.
Well, you got to collect your nugs some way.
We have the pre-press mold. We have the pre-press mold pro. The decarbon. Oh boy, decarbon oxidation capsule, $104. But I like when we get down, there's a poster down here. Oh, and you can get your Nug Smasher gift card for $50. So I don't know what.
Merry Christmas, Mike.
I don't know what $50 will get you. And you have a tool keeper swab holder. I'm anxious for Mike to tell me what it is. But I'm trying to find one more thing. Oh, yeah. And then for some reason, you can get a sticker pack of rosin signs that go with the Nug Smasher. And the pictures are, you got a loading zone, and then we have some like highway signs that have marijuana leaves on them.
Nice.
And then there's one that's got a marijuana leaf in circles and it says smoking zone.
Wasn't there a dabbing cloth for your nugs too?
Yes, there was a dabbing cloth. There was
if you smash your nugs too hard, you might need the dabbing cloth.
Yes, there was a dabbing cloth. There's the everything tool.
Which is a very handy tool.
It's a very handy tool. So, Caniger, I don't know what a Caniger is, but anyways, list goes on and on for all these products you can get. There's like even a game stand. I'm not sure, in case you want to play the Nug Smashing game.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's enough on the Nug Smasher. Mike, what is the Nug Smasher?
Well, it's for your weed.
Oh,
It is.
It is. It's for your weed.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what the Nug Smasher does. It's a rosin press that uses heat and pressure to squeeze the resin out of the marijuana matter, and this leaves you with a clean and potent final product.
Ah.
Oh.
So it gets your dabs a little bit finer, a little bit nicer. It really gets the nug smashed, if you know what I mean.
Well, you want your nugs well,
you want them well smashed.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you're taking those huge, gnarly dabs.
I like the guy's description in the sale ad. He goes, only used 2 times. Everything works like it should. Just don't use it. Time for it to find a new home. So he used it a couple times. Must have got everything smashed he needed smashed. And passing it on.
See, I thought
it's sold like that, though.
He's a nug smasher. He used it twice. I'm like, all right, well, that tracks. Get your 2 nugs smashed and you move on.
Yeah. So Very informative. Okay, so that was the Facebook find today. I should have jumped on and purchased it. I probably could have got more out of it.
You probably could have.
Flipped that baby, that Nug Smasher.
Oh, man.
All right. That's all I got on that.
All right. Well, I saw an advertisement come up, and they have, you go on vacation. We're kind of coming out of the vacation season, although people go on vacation all year round. So
I was going to say, is there really a season for vacation?
Not like when we were kids.
No, it used to be July, 2 weeks in July or whatever.
But now they have, TMZ is offering a selfie tour, the TMZ selfie tour. They will take you around to the different spots in L.A. where it's great to get selfies. And with some celebrities, but there's also like just the spots where famous people have taken selfies and they take them. So instead of just taking you to sites like we're going to see the Grand Canyon or Mount Rushmore, it's like, no, we're going to take you in front of all these different spots where you can just stand in front and get a picture taken. You're going to be looking at a bus, but behind you it's going to be, some fantastic scene. I just thought that was, like, where are we at as a society? Was like, yeah, we're pushing now to TMZ. If you can get people to pay it, hey, if they're filling a need. I guess there's people that want to go around and get their picture taken, but you can do this. It says regularly it's $59 a person for adults. Now, kids 3 to 12, it's regularly $49.
And they'll be taking the most selfies.
Yes, your 3-year-old. You want to start them out young.
Yes.
Let's get you in there because, let's get you as a social influencer right away. Get you up there and you can
take the 3-year-olds around to the Coco Melon house or something.
Yeah, they're showing, hey, I'm wearing
Coco
Huggies.
Melon house.
We're going to do selfies here.
I got the Huggies pull-ups now. That's what. But they're on sale right now for $39 for the adults and then $39 for your kids. But I just was thinking, when did it switch from going and actually having an experience and doing stuff to now all we do is live life through the lens of our phone. We
yourself, though. The pictures of yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I try to stay off my phone when I do things anymore, except for, podcasts, different things like that. But I try not. I don't want to take selfies. I just want to enjoy my time.
I'll say,
take it in.
On vacation, I don't usually. During whatever event or experience you're having, I try not to use my phone unless I'm going to snap a couple pictures.
Yeah, actually a sunset or the ocean or
something like that. But
and Lori and I have found that we can't take a selfie anyways, so this tour is going to do us no good because you're going to get videos of like birds flying over. You're going to get the camera laying on the ground.
Well, I heard actually that they were offering a class before the tour.
I need the class
for an extra $39.99.
That's right.
We can go sit in on the selfie class.
Yeah,
I like it. I took Mike on a selfie tour in California.
Oh,
remember that? The gals, my wife and Courtney.
I don't think we took any selfies, though.
No, well, there was a problem. So my wife and my daughter both went to see a taping of The Voice. And my daughter is Mike's wife. And so Mike and I, we thought the show was going to be like 2 hours. And it was how long?
At most. It was like all day.
We're like trying to figure out what to do. So I said, what I've always wanted to see is the Beverly Hillbilly house. And I thought maybe we can go take a selfie in front of the Beverly Hillbillies house.
Sure.
So we get there, and I may have told this on the podcast, but we get there. You can't see the stupid house. There's bushes taller. They're like 9-foot tall bushes all the way around the house.
Well, there's bushes in front of the fence that then has the tarp.
A big fence.
Yeah, there's bushes in the front, the fence with the tarp, and then there's bushes behind the fence. So if you can see through the first fence, the tarp, the fence, and you can't see past the second layer.
No, of course, the people that own the house are probably like, oh, jeez, come on. Give me a break.
Yeah. Of the 12,000 security cameras that
it had security cameras all interlaced throughout the bushes and stuff.
Granny didn't come and show you the cement pond out back?
Didn't see no cement pond. No
didn't
Jethro.
See a single thing.
No Jed Clampett.
Nope. Mr. Drysdale didn't come by.
Oh,
okay, this is old. Some people are like, what are you talking about?
This is the worst podcast we've ever listened to.
But I thought, maybe
we're the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, I thought maybe we can get a selfie in front of it. And, Mike and I at the at the Beverly Hillbilly house.
After Greg had to explain who the Beverly Hillbillies Mike's like, what do we do? What is this?
Yeah.
Are they related to you? No, it was a TV show.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. An old guy shoots and gets oil and comes out here. And
It was a fail for us. We ended up hanging out at Universal Studios all day.
I think we got like 4 things of pretzel bites.
Yeah, we did.
We ran out of things
You
to
want
do.
some more pretzel bites? Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go
Yeah.
do that.
did you see any celebrities? Any big name
Nope.
celebrity? Nothing.
Went down
No.
Sunset Strip. Did do that. But, us podunk people from Central Illinois, it was like, wow, this is the life out here.
Yeah.
And at that time, we didn't see any homeless or anything like that. We were this is pre-COVID. So it was pretty tame. So anyways, no selfies.
Yeah, no selfies.
All right. Well, from L.A. to Georgia, I saw this. A restaurant is, well, it's getting some praise and taking some heat. And I'll see where you guys come down on this.
They have a selfie menu that you can choose from
No.
and pick different backdrops.
They charged the family an extra fee for unruly children.
Unreal.
So basically, what did I say? Unruly.
Unreally.
What am I trying to say? Unruly.
Unruly.
Unruly. Or unruly. Who knows?
They're unreal children.
They're pretend. No, they got charged. It said basically for being unable to parent, but they charged them $50, which
Jeez.
I guess that's a pretty steep price.
They could have done a celebrity tour for that.
They could have. It says if your kid has a meltdown at a restaurant or something unexpected or crazy happens, do you think you should be charged a ton of money for it? Especially if you address the situation, calm your kid down, and take him out of the restaurant. But if you let your kids run wild, scream or screech or whatever, basically, if you let him ruin the experience for everyone else, then yeah, I think a little surcharge might be in the offing. So, yeah, so they had their thing here, Coke, price, everything. It says adult surcharge. In what it says for adults unable to parent, and it's $3 signs. So it says the kids were sitting at one end of the table. They were being so good. I even commented halfway through the meal, I can't believe how well behaved they are. After the dessert, some of the parents took their children down to the water. That's when the owner approached their table. Richter was there to inform them that there would be a $50 charge per bill at the table, and he asked for the explanation. The owner told her that it was for being too loud. She says he was angry that the kids were running around outside, even though they were chaperoned by adults. So basically, he said it's a he said, she said thing. So the people at the table said, no, they were perfect. They were just regular kids. They weren't being loud. And the owner says, oh, no, it was ridiculous. They were super loud, unruly, all this stuff. But, yeah, they got charged $50. What are your thoughts on that? First off, if I was a parent and got charged, I'd be like, well, I'm not paying the $50
Right.
surcharge. So I'll pay you for the meal. I'm not paying this because that's just your opinion of whether. Now, there's a part of me that's like, if you have unruly kids, then yeah, let's dig them and get them. Because we didn't. I mean, I have one son, but when we went out, we didn't let our kid just. He didn't run wild. He was quiet, and if he was, we got up and we left. I mean, that's just the way it was. But I don't know, where you guys coming down on the extra surcharge for the unruly children?
Well, it sounds like in this case, the restaurant's just trying to get $50 out of these people. If you take them at their word.
Good point.
But I'd like to, does it also say what kind of restaurant this is? Because I could see this potentially working maybe in some instances.
It did not say. I didn't see in there anyway where
Like,
it was.
If this is some high scale type restaurant, like steakhouse type restaurant or something
So not
like
McDonald's.
that. No. I mean, look, it's like there's a point where I think people with kids will more often than not go to certain restaurants because they can let their kids be kids. And then I think there's certain restaurants where you probably don't want to take your kid in fear of if something goes bad. You don't want to be that person, I guess, with that kid. So, I don't know. I think there's a line. You could probably get away with this maybe at some restaurants, but others, that would be completely ridiculous, I think. I mean, it's completely arbitrary, too, because it's what's the tipping point?
Yeah.
I just don't know how you fairly would even enforce this. So,
Yeah, that was
I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say I just don't think you can really get away with this because I really just don't think you can enforce it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a high-end restaurant, maybe, but they have here that on the, I guess, the Today Show got a hold of them, and they denied to really comment on it. And they said they didn't really deny any of the allegations. And all it said is this: we're not going to comment on our policy we've had for years. We just want to live in the woods and cook.
What?
Live in the woods.
That's what it says. That was the quote. So,
Now I'm even more confused.
yeah.
Is this a woodsy restaurant? I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't give the name of the restaurant or pictures or anything.
Now, look, I will say, too, on the flip side of my other argument, the argument I was just making, when you're at a restaurant and there's like one or two kids who are just ruining it for everyone, I mean, it is like almost intolerable. It is awful. But
It is bad.
But I still don't think if you just charge them $50 or what, that's not going to solve the problem. If kids are at that point, I mean, there's worse things going on than charging $50. Like that's not going to enforce or fix the situation.
yeah.
You're either going to have to boot someone out or whatever, or just deny them service. I don't know, but
Well, it sounds to me like they gave them the charge when they gave them the ticket. Did anybody come over during the meal and say, hey, if you can't corral the kids, we're going to charge you extra?
right.
But even that, I'm not for any extra charges. I think restaurants are already charging us to death. So any extra charges, I don't want. Secondly, is like you said, there is no tipping point. What dictates that rollover to where they're unruly? Is a certain decibel level? You got decibel meters in there? I want to see it. What, it's like, what dictates when the $50 kicks in?
Well, it's like, okay, my other thing too on this real quick, sorry to interrupt, but when you're in a restaurant, people, if it's a certain volume level, people will just talk over the volume level.
Yeah, they'll get louder.
Yeah. I mean, there's a certain point anyway where it's like, unless the kid is just flat out screaming, it just becomes like background noise anyway. Because people are already talking loudly in some cases.
Yeah.
I don't know,
you said,
there's
some
music
people-
going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just depends, I guess.
And like you said, some people do. They let their kids run wild, and then that should be handled somehow. But I think just a
that's like a
notification from
parenting
the
issue.
manager. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like, excuse me, ma'am, sir, whoever.
And maybe
You
it
know-
should be a graduated thing. You got the $5 noise violation up to the $50
Maybe.
noise violation.
It's like, how fast are you speeding? 10, 15 over?
Yeah.
25? Oh,
Yeah, you get up to the past 50, you got to go see the judge.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm with you. I've been in some situations where the kids are just unruly, but $50 or even charging them. I just,
I'm not for the charging.
ask them to leave.
I think you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been to other, like, you ever been to a movie where there's some noisy, loud kids? That's worse almost than the restaurant.
Can I charge the restaurant if I get a waiter or waitress that is unruly? Or,
I wish.
Unresponsive.
Yeah.
That would be
I'm
good.
deducting $15 from my check.
Yeah, and I'm just going to do it at the time of my check. They're going to say,
it's going to be a $50 charge. You're going to owe me $20.
Yeah, I'm going to say, they're going to say, why'd you take this off? Oh, your waiter was rude.
Yeah.
Your music was obnoxiously loud.
Yeah.
I couldn't even hear myself think.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Or maybe your music was vulgar. Which we had that happen recently
Yes, we did.
at a restaurant. And
Close by.
it was, and I've been there multiple times. I like the restaurant, but they played something. It's like, what did he say? It's like, yes, it was.
Who was the artist?
I don't remember the artist.
Mike?
Well, it was not who I thought it was.
No, it
was
wasn't the
somebody
first one
different.
you said. It was
He
the
was-
second one.
I can't remember.
Was it like Curtis or?
Talking about the kind of women he likes.
Yes. Or what whiskey does to him.
Yes, he does. The same thing that women did. It's like, it looks like, what is this?
This is a
song?
family,
It's a family restaurant.
grill.
It's a family grill. The kids are in there. It's like, holy cow.
I would have had to charge them $50.
Yeah. It was something. But anyway, I digress. All right. Anything else on that before we move on?
No. My kids were perfect, so we
right.
never had this problem.
Well, There's a Gen Zer who's an influencer who has come up with this novel thing. I don't know. You have probably never experienced this in your life, but it's something that might change your life if you want to try it.
I'm always up for something that'll change my life.
Well, this is it. So, Gen Zers, they like to do things and think that they're the first one to ever. Relax, Gen Zers. I'm just busting your chops.
He's just reading the article.
Just reading the article. But they like to do
we're
things.
just the messengers here.
They like to do things and think they're the very first one. No one has ever done this. I'm setting a trend. So we've talked about some of these. Here's some of the trends that we've talked about before. The everything shower. Beginning and it's everything. Do it all. It's like an all-day process.
What do you do?
Everything. We do it everything. Bed rotting. We talked about bed rotting.
Yes.
Bare minimum Mondays. I think we even talked about that. Quiet quitting was
Quiet
another one.
quitting we talked
Again,
about, yeah.
None of these are new. People have done these for years, but that's fine.
Well, now there's a new one too. Girl math.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
guys
Girl
heard-
math?
Girl math.
Oh, girl math.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about that one in another episode then. We'll have to expand on that a little bit more.
Okay.
It's been making the rounds on the socials.
I didn't know that. Well,
Is it
now
offensive to girls?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they're the ones coming up with the math.
Oh, they are.
We'll see if it checks out. Maybe.
Okay,
in
yeah.
another
Well,
episode.
I want to hear about this.
Yeah.
Well, it says now the latest Gen Z movement taking the young generation by storm is called silent walking.
Huh?
Yep. That's it. Going for a walk without your phone, without listening to music, podcasts, any sort of technological distraction.
And they survive?
Well, podcaster,
Yeesh.
I'm going to butcher her name, Maddie Mayo, M-A-I-O. She takes credit for unintentionally starting a movement that she promises will change your life.
In other words, it's called walking.
Yeah. She says no AirPods, no podcast, no music, just me, myself, and I. And she just takes off walking through the woods. It says, at first I was like, F no, my anxiety could never, which is probably what you're thinking. But
She'd be terrible on the selfie tour.
Yes, she would. But something within me was like, let's just try it. Mayo said the first 2 minutes of her walk were mayhem. Quote. So, I don't know. Until she hit a flow.
Was she attacked by a bear or
When
something?
suddenly you can hear yourself.
Charge yourself $50 because
Look
she's too loud.
Look, the universe and your intuition comes to you through whispers. So if you're alone with your thoughts and you never get quiet, you're going to miss those whispers.
Those whispers were the weird guy on the trail behind her.
Yes, they were. And those
The voices
whispers
in
are the
her
most
head.
important things to be paying attention to. So she says the silent walking has given her clarity she has always been looking for. Yeah, I got news for you. Silent walking has been around for. I did silent walking, not by choice. It's because I did not have anything as a child. There was no radio. There was no. I mean, we didn't have podcasts or not. There's nothing. It was the 70s and the 80s. I mean, I didn't even have a Walkman. We had nothing.
No.
Get on your bike, ride. What are you going to do? Nothing. Just the sound of the tire. Just over and over. That's it.
If you were lucky, you maybe had an AM transistor radio,
We did have that at times.
but
The little
that was
transistor
about
radio.
it.
But yeah, this is something that's been going on for thousands of years. People have been silently walking for thousands. It's not new, Gen Z. I hate to break the news to you.
Since the dawn of human time.
Yes. Until like
They're
15
back
minutes
there. Back
ago.
then, they're going, I wish I had a cell phone.
Yeah. Until like 15 minutes ago, everyone silent walked. We couldn't listen to anything. And then we started listening to stuff. So, but she says it's groundbreaking. Now, I will give her this. It is. If you do it, I mean, it is good to clear your mind. Unplug, turn things off, go out, obviously after you listen to our podcast, but, let's not get
Not be
crazy.
silly.
But no, seriously, turn off the technology, turn off the screens
Turn off the lights. Oh,
and do something. You can do that. Walk in the dark. You might hurt yourself.
Might be a little dangerous, but
well, you were
But-
just turning things off. I just
Yeah, or get a hobby that besides just sitting there looking at a screen, do something tactile where you're doing something, building something, working on something. Go do something where you're not just sitting in front of I was going to say a TV, but they don't even do that now. Your computer, your tablet, your phone.
say
And-
if she likes walking in silence, fishing in silence is revolutionary.
Oh, there you go.
Nothing beats it.
There you go. But I don't know. Did you have any?
Nothing beats it.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Mike made a very definitive statement there. He said nothing beats it.
Not a thing in the world.
How about a Reese's holiday Christmas?
Or enjoying the Reese's
Enjoying
holiday.
that in silence. Yes.
While you're fishing. The only sound you'll hear is the wrapper, the crinkle of the wrapper.
And that scares all the fish away.
That's right.
Well, they know it's a Reese's, so they want a piece of that action.
That's bait. I got Reese's trees for bait.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
just, yeah, you're right. I mean, everything is a trend. It's like, you guys know that this is not, you have to know this is not new. And also, she makes the point that she was walking through the woods, the forest, wherever she was walking. I could not walk through the woods or the forest with headphones in. Why would I do that to myself? I don't know where she is exactly, but like, what if, I don't know. I mean, what if you're on a hike in some bobcat or something? I don't know. Just fill in the blank. What if something comes up, some person, someone else
Yeah.
comes up to get you? It's like, why would you want to do that to yourself?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, be alert and cognizant of what's going on around you.
Or just
Will make a
enjoy the
difference.
sounds of nature. Birds and wind and just different things. Silence. There's something to be said for that.
Simon and Garfunkel
That's right.
wrote a song about it once.
Yes, they did.
I'm not saying I'm happy when I come home and my wife calls and says, "Hey, I'm going to run to the store. I won't be home for a while." But there is something that is like, it is kind of
Oh,
nice.
you're happy.
Well, she's even said, she used to say, "I don't understand how you can," but she's even said it as she's gotten older. She's like, I kind of like just being home by myself. I said, yeah, you go in, not all the time.
I see why you were happy all these years.
Yes. Not all the time, but there is something when you just get home, there's no one there, it's quiet. Well, I got 2 dogs, so it's never quiet in my house,
No.
but
It's a noise that you can live with.
relatively quiet
Yeah.
for me. And sometimes I don't even turn on the radio or nothing. Just, I'll find something, I'll do something. I'll go outside and kick around in the yard a little bit or whatever. Just kind of veg out. Or
Yep.
mowing. I like to mow because that's my time. I'll take an hour and a half, whatever, mow the yard. Sometimes I listen to music and podcasts. Sometimes I just have on the noise canceling headphones and just veg out, think things through.
Yeah, I'm
It's
about
kinda nice.
50-50 on mowing with earphones in versus not.
I do. I mean, my mower is battery powered, so it's not very loud.
Oh, mine's loud.
Mine
So
just hums.
kind of, yeah. It's really not loud at all. So I can listen to podcasts comfortably if I want to while I mow. And my yard is super tiny, so I'm only out there like a half hour. But yeah, just unplug a little bit. I mean, every once in a while.
Yeah. So, all right. Well,
Do
we
you
are
ever
moving.
drive with no music or anything on?
See, I
Sometimes,
have a harder time doing that.
I
than,
do more often. I'm with you, Mike.
Yeah.
I listen to music or a podcast or something.
To me, it's almost weird when it's quiet in the car. I think you make a good point there. I think, to me, I have a hard time doing that in the car, as I would compared to doing other things.
It's compared
Quietly.
to like out in the woods or
Yeah, or going on walks or working in the yard, whatever.
it's easier in
Something
my
like-
work vehicle because my radio's broken.
Well, yeah, I guess you don't really have a choice.
But I take a Bluetooth speaker with me.
Oh, well. Ingenuity. Yeah.
But so sometimes I do like to drive with nothing on. I mean, not me.
Whoa!
I'm glad you cleared that one up.
Hello, officer. Wow, Greg's.
I'm quiet driving.
Don't get out of the car. Stay in the car, sir, please. I'll come in and get it. No. We'll bring it out to the curbside. We don't need you getting out of the car.
You need me to get out and walk the line? Nope.
You're good. Move on down the road. All right. Anything else before we move on?
Hey, is that a nug smasher I see back there?
Could be.
Could be. You just got your nug smashed. That's all. All right. Well, there was some of you may have seen or heard this. There was a Gen Z girl just got her first job, and she's struggling a little bit.
She probably needs to go out in the woods and take a walk.
I think it would help her. I really do think it would help her.
Listening to her, would definitely
she's
help
stressing
her.
out. I think Mike's going to try to play it. Hopefully it will come through, and then we'll discuss a little bit of it.
All right. Ready?
Yep. Fire away.
All right.
Fire away.
I know I'm probably just being so dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, like my first 9-to-5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me forever to get there. There's no way I'm going to be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, duh! If I was able to walk to work, it'd be fine, but I'm not. So it literally takes me, like, I leave here, like, I get on the train at 7:30, and I don't get home till, like, 6:15 earliest, and then, like, I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like, I'm so upset. Oh my God. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just like the 9-to-5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9 to 5, like if it was remote, you get off at 5 and you're home and everything's fine. But like I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and like people that drive to the office, like you don't get off at 5. And I know it could be worse. I know I could be working longer, but like I literally get off, it's pitch black. Like, I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like, how do you have time to, like, meet, like, a guy? I don't know. Like, how do you have time for, like, dating? Like, I don't have time for anything. And I'm, like, so stressed out. And I'm also getting my period. So that's why I'm all emotional. But, like, am I so dramatic? It's fine.
It's fine.
Like, oh, my gosh. Okay, she's freaking out because this is her first experience in the real world. This is just called being an adult, and it sucks. It's not fun. Now, we'll have a little fun here, but I got some serious stuff to say too, but I don't want to get into that just yet. But part of this is like, okay, you're working 9 to 5. And you took a job in the city, wherever she's living. I don't know where she's living, but what city she's talking. But she has to commute. Well, maybe find a job closer. Maybe it's not your dream job.
That was my first thought.
But you know what? You have a little more time. Or here, it's from 9 to 5, and she says it takes an hour. Okay, so you have to leave 8, and you get home at 6. You can still get up at like 6 in the morning. You got 6 to 8. You're home at 6, maybe 6 to 6:30. Go to bed at 10. You got 4 hours. I don't think you can ask for more than that, really. I mean, that's just what it is. A lot of people work more than 9 to 5. Go ahead.
I agree.
Mike, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the points that I was going to make too is kind of one that you already had touched on there a little bit, Doug. Really, if you think about it, you put the math all together. I'm sure she was either coming from a college or maybe she had already graduated and had the summer off, or some part-time job or work-from-home job. But making that transition to the 9 to 5 type atmosphere, you still actually have quite a bit of free time. Like if you go to bed at 10 o'clock, like Doug said, you get home at 6 after your hour commute, you got 4 hours every evening. I mean, that's like half of your workday in free time. And you, like Doug said, you don't really have to get up necessarily that early. If you're efficient, you still got time for hygiene, breakfast, and then you can hit the road. I mean, that's 5 hours maybe a day of personal time before you actually have to commit to the commute and work.
And let's say from
and that's
7,
not even counting the weekends.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Good point. Because let's say 7 to 10 every day. That's 15 hours a week right there. And then you got Saturday and Sunday. And Sunday, if you're not a religious person, you don't go to church or temple or whatever, then you have all day Sunday. And even if you do, usually it's just a couple hours in the morning. You still got all day. That's what people have done forever, or worse. Go back 100 years. I mean, people were working every day. There wasn't much days off. You're working 12-hour days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and I remember not all that long ago, like 6 years ago, is when I got my first, 9 to 5
job. Yeah.
And before that, I worked two part-time jobs together, through summer after graduation. But I remember, time seemed like it was just flying by when I had my first 9 to 5 job. Like, I mean, it seemed like as soon as I started that job, it's like, man, I mean, everything was just like flying by. Calendar, year just went just like that. Like you rip it off the wall, boom, it's already gone.
Yep.
So I understand that, like, because I kind of felt like I went through the same thing not that long ago, but like it wasn't an existential life crisis for me. Like, it seemed like I was pretty prepared for that, though. I mean, yeah, time was going by quick, but I don't think it necessarily robs you of everything that she is saying it does. And I think it's just because, I mean, she's probably never had that much either responsibility or accountability before that comes with the 9 to 5
That would have been my
job.
thought, is the accountability. Yeah.
I'm glad I had written that down as well.
Oh, sorry.
No.
You gotta stop
I'm glad
talking, but
no, go ahead. I was glad you hit that because that's where I was.
I mean,
thinking
because
too.
as soon as you get that job, I mean, if you're not used to that level of responsibility and stuff, I mean, it comes up quick on you if you're not prepared for it.
Yeah, and I know we're having a little fun at her video because she comes across as whiny, but
Well, in my
thing.
mind, I know it's for clicks, but still.
But I think her parents are probably more to blame than her because, like you said, they did not prepare her for adulthood. I think a lot of that is happening with this generation that's coming up. We joke and make fun of Gen Z a lot, but a lot of it,
Some of it is earned.
some of it is earned, but some of it is they were programmed or parented to this. You know, this could have been stopped by the parents. The parents were just letting them do whatever, or
Which
not.
would be our generation of parents.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gen X, and I think even the older with the older millennials, they're in their early 40s. So
my
they
kids
could
are all grown.
Yeah,
but-
so is mine. But I mean, you know, they don't make kids a lot of times have jobs. They don't make them do stuff in the high school and even in college so that you get a work ethic or you realize what is involved or entailed with having to work 40 hours a week.
Well, and I think, too, society tells them that they deserve more. They deserve to already have the money like your parents would have, to already have the homes your parents would have. You know, society is dictating that without letting them know of how, no, it's not super easy to get up and go to a job every day. You know, it's like, yeah, I'd much rather be at home or going on vacations or whatever, but that's kind of how life is.
One thing to piggyback off that too, I think COVID really messed up Gen Z to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because it gave them an unrealistic expectation of the world, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, just stay at home and work from home and live in your little bubble. You know, don't let the outside world in, like that type of a thing. I think really did a number on Gen Z.
I think so.
Because
Good-
if she
good
was
point.
if she was in college, I'm assuming timeline wise, she was either 1 or 2 years maybe into college at that point.
Probably, based
and
on what her age appeared to be. And
She probably didn't have to go to class for 2 years, you know, at least a year. Just, oh yeah, stay at home, remote in, you know, do whatever.
yeah.
At your own leisure type thing. I mean, I think that also set Gen Z back quite a bit.
Now, I will say, I will give her a point too, as far as like working 9 to 5. Maybe it's not for everybody. Some people
Right.
don't like that
Right.
kind of structured work. So you can find other jobs like that. But a lot of what people don't realize, it's like, I don't want the 9 to 5 grind. Okay. A lot of times those people, they work more than what you would work 9 to 5. If you're out there just hustling and getting after it, doing, you know, different things, you may work 60 hours a week.
Well, can I give an example on that
Yeah.
too real quick? So my wife is the perfect example of that.
Yep.
She has her own business as she started from the ground up at the start of COVID, nonetheless,
Right.
built that up over the years. She had all those obstacles in her way. And then she also works a part-time job, but even just her business, I mean, it's really a nonstop thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, she'll start her day sometimes at 4:30 in the morning, do all this stuff, and then she'll drive around, go to visit clients, meet clients, do that. Then when she comes home, which could be 7, 8 o'clock, just kind of depends. I've got dinner ready. We'll eat our dinner, and then some nights, as soon as she's done with dinner, she's back at it. She's got to come up with other plans or work on spreadsheets, whatever she has to do. I mean, it really doesn't stop sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be available for when the customer is available.
Right.
And some jobs, the customer works 9 to 5, and so you have to be available after that.
Yeah.
It can give you some free time. Maybe you got your afternoon free or something, but yeah, you're all over the place. Mm-hmm. You maybe have to work Saturday. Maybe you have to work Sunday, or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, you gotta get after it.
Yep.
So
I think she's fulfilled in her work. I think she likes what she does.
Oh yeah, she loves it. Yeah, and really, she's kind of been that person most of her life. Anyway,
Yeah, she's always been one that
she needs that full schedule type
she
thing.
Likes
and
to stay busy.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of who she is. But yeah, it's certainly a sacrifice.
She can get that from me.
But yeah, it's a trade-off, and that's a good point too. But you can tell from the video, this poor girl. Yeah, she's in it rough.
But she didn't say she was going to quit.
No,
she's going to stick. And sometimes, hey, I whine. I know. I know. I was waiting.
Yeah.
Nothing. For those of you who don't know, that's all this podcast is. We've been doing it for 5 seasons, and it's just us whining and complaining about stuff and making fun of things. But that's how we cope with it. But yeah, I mean, it's not fun. It's not easy. I wish I could do something else. I wish I had a big pile of money, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it.
It'd be all set.
It would be all your problems would go away
magically.
I think if she sticks it out, though, I think she'll adjust.
Yeah,
I think they'll be fine.
I think she just kind of like sticker shock with a car.
Yeah,
boom, like
yeah.
What? This isn't what I signed up for. Like, nah.
Yeah, or she'll find something else in her life that's more fulfilling. She'll go do something different. I mean,
it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Or you get your fulfillment somewhere beside your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's fine
she
too.
hasn't timed me to guy, so it won't be that.
No. And she can't work out, so she's going to let herself go. And all right,
it'll be good.
We ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go from there to Italy to hear kind of maybe the other side of the coin to this. This woman, she's complaining, but at least she's working. Well, these guys may be working too, but an Italian court has sided with the mother of 2 40-year-old sons because they refused to move out of her house. How bad are you when it says real-life stepbrothers, mother wins court hearing to have them kicked out of her home. She has 2 sons, 40 and 42. She calls them parasites. They're squatting in her home. It says despite being employed, they won't help out financially or anything. They live in her house. She, who is separated from her husband, lives off her own pension, has a small house, and her sons just live there and will not move out on their own. They're 40 and 42.
That's enabling.
So sad.
Says apparently the 2 sons thought their mom was bluffing when she said she was going to do whatever it takes to teach them a lesson. And as always, mom was right. Says the court decided that her son called out her sons and ruled that they did not have the right to stay in the house despite it being their mother's. There's no provision in the legislation which attributes to the adult child the unconditional right to remain in the home exclusively owned by the parents against their will and by virtue of the family bond alone. So yeah, they're just sponges. They're just living there. They're losers, and they're just sponging off their mom.
That's awful. 75 years old.
Yeah, and they're 40 and 42. God. Still, I'm assuming single. I don't know, ladies. Yeah. Hey, they got it going on. Live with their mom.
They have jobs.
Sponging off her pension. You'd think they'd have enough money to get a house or rent an apartment at this point.
I think parasites was the correct term.
I think so.
I think she nailed it.
I think so. But yeah, so
how shameless do you have to be, honestly, though?
Well, there's a little more here.
Okay, all right.
So we'll see if this changes your mind.
Okay, all right.
Rather than just take the loss and move on, the sons are now countersuing their mother.
Oh, you freaking!
And arguing that Italian parents are obligated to maintain or support their children as long as necessary.
I'm going to leave. I'm done.
Yeah. So I hope that they lose and their lawyer takes them for all the money they got and they're kicked out on the curb and they're just.
And I hope that's not true in Italy.
Could be.
I mean, I know there's family loyalty and things like that, but that's ridiculous.
But that's taking advantage. It's not like it's not like that they have a problem. They lost their job or whatever. They're just sponges. They're parasites, like you said. Yeah. So these 2 are pretty pathetic.
See, Step Brothers was actually funny. I don't think this situation.
I never saw Step Brothers.
I didn't.
Oh, what?
I know it's one of those. I don't know. It came out. I missed it, and then I've just never went back and
It's a
watched
classic
I'm in the
Will Ferrell
same boat.
movie.
I'll have to
Ironic.
watch it sometime.
Yeah.
You're in the same boat. Anyway, yeah. For those who have seen Step Brothers, I think you'll
You get that?
fill in the line. Yeah,
Okay.
gotta have me, my boats, and yeah. Never mind. All right.
Okay. I don't know.
I just sailed right over.
All right. Well, we've got one more story. I didn't know if we'd have time if we had to push it out, but I think we got time. We'll get into it a little bit.
We'll stick it out for the story.
We will. It's very apropos. Good job. Kim Kardashian has brand new clothing in her clothing line. The Skims brand now has a bra with a built-in nipple. Or nipples, I'm
I was going to say
assuming.
one?
Well,
That's kind of
maybe.
weird.
It's a cyclops. I don't know. My first thought, I asked my wife, like, why? What is the purpose of this? Is there a? Because I'm trying to find a reason. I'm like, why would you want this? What's the draw? What? Okay, bras. I think they're supposed to support, right? That's the. I know. Listen,
Lift and support.
lift and separate. That was the old one, but I don't know what the new ones are doing. They lift and push together. Are they? I don't know what they're doing. We are going to show our ignorance on all things women, which we do constantly. But right, ladies, the bra is for support. That's what it is. Why would you want a bra with a built-in nipple? I mean, I was trying to think. My wife's like, I don't know. I don't know why you would want it. Is it maybe for somebody who's they're modest, but they kind of want to? I'd like to show that I'm not modest, but I'm too modest. So, I'm like, but you're showing the nipple. I don't know. You know, maybe it's for. I don't know.
I honestly,
don't know.
I cannot think of a scenario
No.
of why you'd want this.
You're going to confuse the daylights out of a baby as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they don't have a similar product for men. You know, like get underwear and it's got the built-in package here for you. It's like, hey, like no. She may. I don't know. Maybe she does have that. I didn't click on her little shop to look. But I don't know if it's for like you I feel like a lot of times they have like I'm thinking padded bras to protect that so that doesn't happen, right? But now this is a padded bra but we're gonna like, well, why? I don't know why even wear it. I guess. Well, I guess for the support.
So you still get the support.
I guess if you don't, maybe some women are like, oh look, if they're older, that woman has two outie belly buttons. What's going on there? Oh no, it's not it.
Well,
I just didn't like.
I think. I mean, if you were in the office, right, and somebody was wearing this from the office, be like, "Do we need to turn up the temperature here or what?"
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna get a
Cold?
T-shirt with built-in nipples. That way, people think I'm cold. Mm.
And if
Burr.
you see the lines from the bra in the shirt, you're going to think, wow, it's pushing all.
Well, maybe because I didn't know this either, but my wife was saying, there's bras are padded and unpadded. So maybe it was an unpadded bra, or maybe there's super strong nipples. They're going through. Maybe it's for women who have misshaped nipples, but like square. Like I feel uncomfortable with them. They built in the round. They're perfectly round shaped.
I picture Austin Powers.
Pop, 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 pop. I don't know. Yeah, it says here in the video she drops some perfect one-liners, including, so no matter how hot it is, you'll always look cold. So she's even making the joke.
Is that the point? Maybe that's the
is the
point.
She even says some days are hard, but these nipples are harder, which I don't understand why. I don't know. Ladies, feel free to comment. I don't know why. What is the draw? What would you want for this?
At the end of the day, it is Kim Kardashian. It's probably for attention.
Oh,
and
I'm sure.
clicks, but yeah.
I don't know. Oh, she is donating a portion of the sales as a one-time donation to 1% for the planet. I don't even know what that means. The planet? The general?
It's kind of like the old audio cassette commercials. Is it real?
Or is it right?
Memorex?
That's right. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like maybe I'll get a shirt with built-in muscles. I don't go to the gym. Just ripped. Six-pack. Got it going.
Muscle shirt.
So, all right, there you go. I don't know, ladies. Let us know. If I can't think of a reason why you would want this. I really can't. But
Nope, I can't either.
there's probably something. I don't get it. I don't know. All right. Anything else, or did we wrap that kill it?
I think that
did it. All right. Hey, thanks again for tuning into the show. We do appreciate each and every one of you for listening. Check out all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Rumble. Look for our taste test videos. They're
Is that
going to be
X,
terrible.
formerly known as Twitter?
Yes,
Okay.
X, formerly known as Twitter. And once again, just so you know, we are part of the Off the Tongue Podcast Network. Look that up. Check out the other podcasts on there, Greener Grass, Teach a Dummy, Skate Ohio Podcast, and the original Copycats. We hope you are all going to tune in 7 days. We hope you have a great week. Relax. Take in a deep breath. Don't get offended by things. Life is way too short. Laugh a little bit. And we hope you're tuning in 7 days. Until then, see ya.
Later.
Peace.
Well, that wraps up another episode. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe, and you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.